Now let's check in with Adam Claiborne. You know, when I think of basketball, March Madness, springtime, not even close, especially not this week.
Doesn't feel like it, no. It is going to be a active start to the week. We don't see as much active weather towards the end of the week, but it's going to be much colder by that point too. Now today, you talked about Gonzaga. They're over on the eastern side of the state. If you're trying to travel over that way here during the day, I think we're great. No restrictions right now for Stevens, Snoqualmie, or either White Pass, as each highway just bare and wet. We're seeing rain for Snoqualmie, White Pass seeing a mixture of rain and snow. Stevens Pass seeing some really wet snow, temperatures pretty close to the freezing point there. But those snow levels still up around 4,000 feet, so we're not going to see much of a concern today when it comes to travel across the passes. Tonight is when those snow levels start to drop back down, and that's where we're going to start to really pile up some of our snow totals. Right now, as we look at Stevens Pass, you can see some of those snowflakes that are out there. Again, highway looking to be A-OK, looking at Highway 2, and then Snoqualmie Pass right now, rain falling, kind of a mist in the air too, but you're going to be good to go if you're driving across Interstate 90. Right now here in Seattle, not a lot of rain falling. We're at 47. That wind is starting to kick up, and that's something we're going to have to keep an eye out for tonight, as those winds will start to gust quite heavily at times here throughout the night and possibly into the earlier part of Tuesday. Now temperatures mid to upper 40s, really mild, even seeing some 50s down there. That goes along with that higher snow level, the milder air mass that we have in place that is also helping to create some avalanche concerns that we're going to talk about here in a second. Rain stays generally near and north of I-90 here for the early part of the afternoon. We'll see some lighter showers out there along the coast as well. But you can see that is starting to move farther to the east, and that moisture eventually is going to start to fill in a little more tonight. But Highway 2, you can see where the green kind of just juts into the Cascades. We still have that higher snow level that's in place there for Stevens Pass, and certainly down this way for Snoqualmie Pass too, as we're keeping everything in the form of rain. But a lot of the shower activity that was out there earlier this morning, Kent, Auburn, down around Tacoma, Lacey, starting to come to an end for the time being. Wind advisories, those start up tonight at 6 p.m. We'll see everywhere shaded in the tan, possibly get gusts up to, I think, 40, maybe 45 miles per hour. There are going to be a very few spots that get up to 55 miles per hour, but it's going to be a lot windier than what it is right now. And then we zoom into the spot right here, Discovery Bay around Camano, Whidbey Island. This is the spot where I think we do see some of the higher winds and the potential for some minor power outages here, but 30 to 40 winds. Then you can see some of those gusts up to 60 miles per hour as we get that wind to come straight through the Juan, or coming through straight from the Strait of Juan de Fuca. And then you can also have some areas of heavy snow that will eventually start to pick up here later into the night. That winter storm warning is in effect right now, but expected really to kick in late tonight into the earlier half of tomorrow, where we could see 1 to 3 feet of snow and some of those gusts up to about 45 miles per hour. That will also lead to the avalanche concern as we'll start to pile up more snow on top of the warming snow that we've had here throughout the day. That warming that creates that different base layer for us. And then out closer to the coast, high surf advisory out for some of those waves that could get up to around 18 to 22 feet starting up tomorrow morning and lasting through Wednesday. Now first on to the wind. You can see that those areas right here across parts of Puget Sound, 30 to 40 miles per hour. But as we go into the night, 9 p.m., we start to see that comes through the Strait of Juan de Fuca. Higher winds closer to about 50 into those spots. And then we go on into early tomorrow. You start to see less of the orange and green and less of also the red. And that kind of shows you the overall trend that we're going to see for tomorrow, that the winds will gradually weaken as we go on into the day. And then the rain and snow, also, not as much of it around as we head on into tonight, but it does start to fill back in as we go into tomorrow. And then you'll have convergence zone bands that will help to put down some of the heavier snow that we're expecting on into the earlier half of tomorrow. And even cold enough that we could see maybe a few snowflakes late Tuesday night into early Wednesday, but little if any accumulation expected here in the lowlands. Much sunnier, but also colder. Thursday and Friday, highs in the 30s, lows in the 20s, warming up slightly over the weekend.